Thanks everybody for joining in on this Sunday. Again, another nice, beautiful day up here in the Northeast. Hopefully it is where you guys are as well. All right. So today we are, when we get into the main set, it's going to be something we did similar to what we did. Probably, I guess it's probably about a month ago now. It's hard to believe we've been at this long. But basically, what it's going to be is we usually get into things and we get shorter as time gets shorter as it gets harder. Today it's going to kind of work in the opposite direction, and it's almost more like a type of a race simulation, where when you're in a race and you get going, usually what we do is we start out very fast. We start out very hard. We sprint. We find our spot. We back off a little bit as we start to find the groove. Then we get into that endurance race pace. So we're going to kind of simulate something similar to that today. And we also do this in the pool with there's a purple patch workout that does something similar in the pool as well. Probably haven't really seen yet as we haven't been swimming in a while. But once we get back to pools, you'll see something similar pop into the pool workouts as well. Before we get into that, let's get warmed up. Let's get going. Guys here. Okay, so normal stuff. Stick to the routine here. Swing those arms out, and as we do this, as you come into this position, feel that stretch across here. Come in here, and as we come to the front, you feel it through the back of the arm, and we're just starting to get those muscles moving and loosened up a little bit. And I always like to start with some arm swings like this. It just feels like a good way to kind of just move things around a little and just kind of get that motion started before we do our arm swing stuff. All right, let's go with the left arm here, and we're going to take that left arm forward now. Nice and slow, or a little bit fast if you want, but the important thing is nice big range of motion, and we don't want to jump in with super fast arm circles or anything too quick. Just we don't want to risk hurting those shoulders by swinging those arms too viciously. But we'll get moving here, and then we'll switch to the other arm. But nice big circles, and the big thing is, as I mention all the time, big range of motion here. So it should be a big full circle, as your arm should be close to your body as it can, all the way up and all the way around. You can slow it down a little bit to get that feeling, especially as you come over the top. All right. Let's switch back to that other arm, and we'll go reverse this time. And really try to reach up. It's almost like pretend you're doing backstroke. Reach up right over. Kind of you're reaching for the sky here as you come over the top. And you're just really working all that whole shoulder all the way around. Nice straight arm, nice and big. All right, let's switch to the other arm now. Right up over. There we go. All right, let's take a sec. You can shake the arms a little bit, and we'll start with our double arm circles here. Just a sec. Nice to give them a little break. We'll go forward again, right over the top. Again, we can kind of accelerate through the bottom, and then I kind of slow it down over the top to try to get as much stretch as I can coming over the top, but right around through there. Still standing up nice and tall. Don't want to start bending over yet. Okay, let's go reverse now. Again, slowing it down a little bit right over the top. Just trying to get as big a stretch as I can. And I gotta move this here because I'm hitting the ceiling. Right and big through there. Good. Then we will take this now, and we will go right up into our streamline. Scott beat me to it. There we go. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Right on the ears. And you can kind of just start to stretch to one side. Bring it over to the other side. Back to the middle. And then get right up on your tippy toes. Stretch it. Show. Right there. Let you see my belly. All right. Let's shake it out a little bit. And then we're going to do another one. My kids thought my belly comment was funny. All right, back up. I'll go one side. Go to the other. And we'll just do some arm circles now, or arm shakes and swings. We can do two. Let's do this one where we kind of get bent over at the waist, and you can kind of bring them up over your head this way. And then we can also do the speed skater while we're in this position. I'm still just loosening, feeling good. Getting ready to put some pressure on with those bands. All right, we'll come back up. I'll go here. All right, excellent. Let's get rolling. Let me grab what's left of my bands. Anyone was on Wednesday, the danger is real out there. My band snapped on me and came back and got me. So I'm down to one paddle to show you guys with today until my new ones show up. Not surprisingly, they're pretty much out of stock everywhere. So it's not easy to find more. All right, so today we're gonna start out just with some, in the pre-main, like we always do, we're gonna start with a little bit of a focus on one arm at a time. Obviously you'd have your other hand up here, but we're working on this catch portion again. What we're gonna do is we're gonna just do one arm at a time, slow and deliberate, just like this. So we're just going through the motions. We're practicing for when we get in the water. Try to make this feel a little bit more natural where those fingertips come on. It's so much easier to practice this catch on dry land than it is when you're in the water and you've lost most of your body weight and you're kind of all over the place. Here we can really stop. You can even look at the camera, look at your screen to make sure you're getting this motion, but that elbow stays, fingertips drop to here, then we pull back. The big thing I see a lot is we do this, and then once people get to this point, the elbow comes up. We don't want your elbow to be above your shoulder. See, it's below or even with my shoulder as we pull all the way through. So when we do our one arm in the pre today, this is about the speed you should be at. Nice and smooth, and just really focusing on all the aspects of that pull all the way through the back. One away from me. Okay, so this first little round of our preset, we're gonna do 15 seconds right arm only, 15 seconds left arm only, 40 seconds double arm. Now the double arm, again, for this first round, I want it to be smooth, slow, deliberate, not a lot of tension, still focusing on the form on that. So it would be like a 70% type of effort where we're just kind of feeling the motion and trying to get up on the top of it. We talked about that a little bit as well last time with the double arm. You try to get up on top of that stroke and pull back. But again, we'll go 15 seconds right arm only, 15 seconds left arm only, and then 40 seconds of kind of a relaxed double arm pull. And we'll get started here in about 10 seconds, and we'll get rolling for the day. Okay, here we go. 15 seconds, right arm only, and go. And remember, nice and slow here, just feeling every aspect of that stroke, trying to make it perfect as we pull back. And you take a peek at it, watch it, and just break it down. Okay, switch to the other arm now. Excellent, nice high elbow catch. Alexi, that's looking good today. Good job. All right, now double arm, 40 seconds. If you need to adjust tension, do that, but this should again be about the same speed we were just doing, not too much tension on it. And we're just kind of in that, starting to feel the groove here a little. Make sure we're still pushing all the way back and focusing on every part of that pull, from the catch with that nice high elbow, let that hand drop down, and then pull all the way through the back. We got 40 seconds of this. We have 10 seconds left. Still just warming up here. Okay, and rest. Excellent. We'll take a little rest, 30 to 40 seconds or so, and we're gonna go to round two. Now, not much changes on round two. We're still gonna stick with that easy, slow, deliberate 15 seconds right arm, 15 seconds left arm. This time we're gonna go 30 seconds of double arm, but I want you to add a little bit of tension and a little bit of tempo to those double arm pulls. So 15 seconds, easy, very focused on what we're doing form right arm, same with the left arm. We're gonna go 30 seconds, but again, a little bit more effort on that double arm pull now, so add some tension and add a little bit of tempo. And with the tempo, we still want to try to get on top up here. And once we get on top of our stroke, then we accelerate through the back of that pull. So it's going to be 15 right, 15 left, 30 seconds of double arm, but with more tension than what we had on that first round. So we're adding a little bit of power to this now. We'll get going in 10 seconds. Okay, 15 seconds, right arm only, and go. Good. This is where we're setting up the form for the day. We're going to carry this form all the way through everything we're doing. And switch to the other arm. We're going to practice this catch and then bring it to the water when it's time. 5 more seconds on this arm. Okay, and double arm. Now a little more tension than you had last time for 30 seconds. Try to add some acceleration on the back end of the pole and still finish all the way through. Keep that nice high elbow catch on this. We have 10 more seconds. So we're still getting ready for some harder efforts later in the day. Okay, and rest. Excellent. Good, getting loose here. We're gonna keep going on this the next round after we have a little break. Again, we're keeping that same 15 seconds right arm, 15 seconds left arm with perfect form, not a lot of tension, nice and easy. And then we're going into 20 seconds of the double arm. Again, add some more tension to that now. So this should be a hard effort on the double arm, like a 90% effort. There's some tension, some hard pulls, increase that acceleration through a little bit. It's only gonna be for 20 seconds, but harder on the double arm this time. So the single arm stays the same. That double arm is gonna get harder. More tension, higher tempo. Okay, we will go in 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Now it's 5 seconds. Okay, right arm only, and go. Nice and slow. Not a lot of tension. Enough to be able to get that elbow into a nice high position on the front end. Okay, and switch arms. And the big thing is when we transition to the double arm, we want to keep that same catch at the top of the stroke. Okay, and double arm, go. High tension on this. This should be hard, like a 90% effort, only 20 seconds, but really push through the back now. Really feel that power through the back end of the pole. Got 5 more seconds. And rest. Nice. Good. All right. So we have a little more rest here. We'll get into the last round of our preset before we get into our main set today. Same thing, following along here. 15 seconds right arm, 15 seconds left arm. Form, smooth, not a lot of tension. And then we're just going to cap it off with 10 seconds, max effort on the double arm. So really hard, really high tension, high tempo. Get going fast on that double arm, get going hard on that double arm. So it's just gonna be 10 seconds, kind of nailing the double arm pulls. So 15 right, 15 left, and then a really hard 10 seconds on the double. And we'll go in 10 seconds. Okay, in 5 seconds. Okay, right arm only, and go. 15 seconds, right arm only. Still nice and slow on this. All we're doing is practicing that catch and that finish, perfect pull all the way through. Okay, and switch arms. Perfect stroke on the other arm now. And we're gonna carry that over and just really hard, 10 seconds of double arm. Okay, 10 seconds of double arm starts right now. Hard, high tension, pull hard all the way through the back. Some real power strokes here to finish up our pre-main. And rest. All right, I guess drop the swim bands, take a little break here, grab some water before we get going with our main set today. So as I said earlier, the main set today kind of works in the opposite way that we have been doing a lot of this stuff, where usually the time gets shorter, the effort gets harder. We're gonna kind of go the opposite way. We're gonna start out, you know, in very hard for short periods of time. It's gonna get a little easier. The time's gonna get a little longer. And the idea is we're simulating what we do in a race, right? We start out hard, we start out fast, we get going. You know, obviously, depending on who you are, rolling starts have kind of changed the way we start triathlons a little bit. That mass start, it's always about going fast, finding your spot, and not getting run over. So it's going to be 20 seconds of a really high, really hard effort. And this is all going to be alternating like we're swimming freestyle. But it's going to be 20 seconds at like a max effort. Should be really, really hard, really, really fast tempo, pushing through the back. Keep the stroke intact on that, especially on the catch. We'll take a little bit of rest, a short rest. Then we're gonna go 40 seconds where we back off a little bit. Now we're starting to kind of get the groove. We're still keeping the effort up. It's like a 90% type effort for 40 seconds as we kind of start to find where our place is. Then we do a short rest, and then we're gonna go into an endurance effort after that. So it's high speed, well, let's say very fast, high speed, and endurance efforts. So it's kind of like when we're starting a race, when you're getting out, you're getting moving quick, find your spot, and then we kind of settle into our swim. But this first round, we're gonna do 20 seconds, that max really hard effort, short rest, 40 seconds, hard effort, like 90%, still having a nice high tempo on that. And then we're gonna settle into 1 minute straight of a smooth endurance type effort. You know, normally I'd say that smooth endurance, I mean, I think of it as like a 75 to 80% type of effort on that 1 minute. So, you know, you should be feeling, it's not our go all day type of speed. It's a little bit more than that. So you should be feeling it by the end of that 1 minute. But we will get started in 30 seconds here. 30 seconds, we'll get going. 20 seconds, max, really hard effort to start. We still want to keep that form in the back of our mind, especially that nice high elbow catch. All right, we're gonna go in 10 seconds. We've got 20 seconds, alternating arms, just like swimming. Very hard, very fast. And go, 20 seconds. All right. Hard, be max, be really struggling to push through the back, but still finishing all the way through. Tempo's up on this, just like we're swimming. Okay, and rest. Excellent, little rest. Now it gets a little easier, but a little bit longer. So now we've got 40 seconds at like a 90% type effort. I still wanna see the tempo up on this and really accelerating through that back of the stroke. Okay, we are gonna go in 5 seconds. This is for 40 seconds straight. And go. 40 seconds now. This is still a hard effort. This is like a 90% effort. It's not all out. It's not max, but it's hard. We got 40 seconds of it. Now, especially when we're doing these really hard efforts, it's easy to bury the head as you kind of grunt into this. So let's really make sure we're holding the form. Nice neutral head position, not bouncing as the tempo gets high. Got 10 more seconds of it. I should be burning here. Okay, keep it up. And rest. Excellent. We got a little rest here. And then we're gonna go right into the 1 minute effort. After this 1 minute effort, we'll take a little bit longer of a break, but this is gonna be 1 minute at like a 75 to 80% type effort. So it's not your go all day. This is still a challenging effort, but we're trying to settle into the groove, settle into a stroke here. The tempo doesn't need to be quite as high, but it's a minute straight. We're gonna go in 10 seconds. Okay, our 1 minute starts right now. This is still a hard effort. This is like you're in the race now, you're finding that rhythm, you're finding that groove, and we're racing at this point. So it's something you could hold for an extended period, but it's not our all-day pace. We want to find a nice rhythm, a nice tempo here. Every once in a while, do a little check, make sure we've still got that nice high elbow catch. Make sure we're still finishing all the way through the back. Excellent. Got 20 more seconds, 20 more seconds of this. It's looking good. 5 more seconds. Okay, and rest. Nice. All right, as I said, you can drop the bands. We'll take a little bit longer break here. Let you get some water, stretch out a little bit before we get into round number 2. Now, round number 2 is gonna change just a little bit. We're gonna keep that 20-second max effort, that really hard, get out and go, 20 seconds hard. We're gonna keep that 40 seconds at like 90%, where it's still hard, the tempo's still up. It's not all out, but we're starting to settle a little bit. And then that last little bit, I want to see that same type of effort, that's still that 75, 80%, we're racing type effort, but we're going to do it for 1.5 minutes now. We're going to bump it up, and we are going to try to hold that. Now, you might need to adjust the tension on that a little bit. So if that 1 minute, you got to the end of it there and you thought, I could not do that for 5 more seconds, you might need a little bit less tension, and our goal here is to hold that for 1.5 minutes now. So adjust if you need to on that minute, for that 1.5 minutes. But it's going to be a little bit longer. You'll start to feel it. So adjust as needed. So it's going to be 20 seconds, stays the same. Max, all out. Short rest, 40 seconds. Hard, 90%. Tempo still high. Rest, 1.5 minutes. Hard, 80% type race effort. Holding that for 1.5 minutes. We're going to get going in 20 seconds. A little bit longer rest here. Getting ready for this round as we bust through it. Okay, so let's start getting ready. We're going to go in 10 seconds now. We start out that 20 seconds, very hard, max efforts in 5. And go, 20 seconds. Really hard, high tension, but finishing all the way through the back, all the same. Halfway there. Good job. Okay, and rest. Excellent. Okay, short rest here. Walk it in a little bit. This is our hard 90% effort. So we're starting to settle a little, but we're still keeping that effort up. We're keeping that tempo up. So it's still going to be hard. It's going to be for 40 seconds. I'm going to go in 5 seconds. And go. All right, now we're at that 90%. Tempo still high, so we're still accelerating through the back, really pushing hard with that tricep on the back end. We're trying to find the rhythm here a little bit. We're halfway there. All right, everybody's looking good. Got 10 more seconds, so this is where it's going to be hurting a little bit. But we're still pushing hard. Okay, and rest. All right, a shorter rest here. I'll give you a little more than what we had last time after the 40 seconds. But now we're going into that 1.5 minutes. So adjust the tension from what you did on the 1 minute if you need to. We've got to make it and keep that same like 75, ideally 80%, like your racing type effort. But we got to hold that for 1.5 minutes now. For 1.5 minutes. So it's an extended period. It's going to burn a little bit. Okay, we are going to go in 15 seconds. 15 seconds. We're going to go for 1.5 minutes. Then we'll take, again, a nice long break before we get going on to our last round. All right, here we go. 1.5 minutes starts right now. Go for it. So this is an extended one. So try to settle in just like in a race. When we get in and we go hard, we get tired quickly, and then we got to settle in and find that rhythm and find that groove and find that nice endurance pace where we're pushing hard, but we can hold it. And this is going to extend. And again, if we get partway through this and you need to adjust a little bit more, adjust a little bit more. The shoulder's really burning. You can pause for a second. But, you know, in the world of bands, 1.5 is kind of a long interval. You guys are looking good. We are halfway there. And we are cruising. Excellent. Making sure our body position, nice and tight, neutral head position. And as we get tired and the shoulders start to burn here, let's make sure we still have that nice high elbow catch. Don't drop the elbow. That's going to happen if we get too tired. And make sure, again, we're pushing all the way through. I know the triceps are starting to burn too, so don't cut that stroke or that pull short. All the way through the back to a nice straight arm. We have got 10 seconds left. That's it. 10 more seconds. Keep pushing. Okay, and rest. Excellent. You can drop the bands. Again, we'll take an extended break here. Stretch, get some water. I know everybody's feeling it in there now for sure. And we will get going here in a couple minutes for the last round. And the last round's gonna burn. We're gonna keep that 20 seconds. We're gonna keep that max effort. We're gonna go really, really hard. We're gonna take a little bit of a rest. And I'll give you a little more than what we've been getting. And then we're gonna go 40 seconds. All right, that 90%, that hard effort where the tempo is still up. And we're gonna take a little bit of rest. And then we're gonna finish the day with a 2-minute effort. 2-minute effort at the end. It's gonna burn, you're gonna feel it. Adjust the chords if you need to. You can adjust partway through if you need to. If you need to pause, or if it's just too much for you, don't push yourself through it if it's really starting to hurt. We all know that difference between this hurts because I'm working hard and this hurts because something isn't going right. So 2 minutes is a long time, especially we're coming at the end of the session. But let's push through that. We're gonna go nice hard effort for those, like race type effort for 2 minutes at the end. All right, we'll get started in about 30 seconds here. We're keeping that 20 seconds max, all out, really hard, 20-second effort to start, high tempo, pushing hard, high tension. And again, making sure we're still pushing all the way through that stroke, all the way to the end. Okay, we're gonna get going in 10 seconds. We're gonna go in 5. Okay, and go, 20 seconds, really hard, really high tension, fast tempo, hard all the way through. 10 more seconds of this. It's a short, it's hard. 5 more seconds. Okay, and rest. All right, finish. Short break, longer than we've been doing though. And then we've got that 40-second effort. 40 seconds of that 90%-ish type effort. Tempo still up. It's hard. We're gonna go in 10 seconds for 40 seconds straight. Going in 5. Okay, and go, 40 seconds straight. So the tempo's still high. We're accelerating through the back end. Still hard here, but we're starting to find that rhythm a little bit. Excellent. We're halfway there. Ten more seconds. Keep holding it. Keep pushing through. 5 more seconds. Okay, and rest. All right, a little bit longer break here. We're gonna get into that last effort. This is 2 minutes, some challenging physically. It's gonna be challenging mentally too. This is a hard effort here coming at the end. But find that rhythm, find that groove, settle in, is what we like to say. You settle into that pace, you settle into that rhythm. Again, if we get partway through, you need to adjust that tension. Don't be afraid to do that. Okay, we'll go in 20 seconds. This is 2 minutes straight effort. Settle into that groove, find your rhythm, hardish effort, race 80% type effort. Okay, we're gonna go in 5 seconds. And begin, 2 minutes straight. This is a harder effort here, so still, I mean, it's not our goal all day. So when we get to the end of this 2 minutes, you should be done. Finding the rhythm. A nice extended piece. As we get going through this here, don't forget the form check. Make sure you've got that elbow nice and high on the catch. Make sure your head nice and neutral. If we're not on a bench and we're standing, make sure we're not starting to stand up too high. Nice neutral head position. I know when I get tired doing these, I tend to drop my head down into my chest a little bit. So keep it nice and neutral. Don't strain your neck too much looking up either. It's right in the middle. And the big thing is finish. Push that tricep right through the back. High elbow catch. Arms are getting tired. The shoulders are getting tired. But we want to push all the way through. We are past halfway. You guys are doing good. Find that rhythm, nice and smooth. Just like you're cutting through some waves somewhere. We have got just 30 more seconds. We're at the tail end now. So hold that stroke together, especially on the front. Nice and strong. We're almost there. We've only got 15 more seconds, so this should be burning. I know this is where it's hurting at the end, but this is where we push through. 10 more seconds. 5 more seconds. And you're done. Excellent. Nice job. Scott, you want to go for 3 minutes, don't you? Yeah, that's tough. It's hard. You know, it's interesting, right? We can go and we can swim out in a pool. We can swim in open water, and we can do that forever. How long? You get on the stretch bands, and you see 2 minutes. You're like, 2 minutes. That's nothing. And you get about 45 seconds into it, and you realize 2 minutes is a really long time on the bands. But like I've said before, you know, I find that these swim bands really do kind of replicate that feeling of that first open water swim of the season, or the first few, when you get in and you've taken 30 strokes and you realize, holy crap, my shoulders are killing me. It's just that continuous motion, that continuous movement. You know, we get rest on the walls. It's very short. It's 3 to 5 seconds. Well, 5 seconds would be a long time if that's how long it takes you to turn on a wall. But even 3 seconds of rest in a pool at a flip turn or an open turn is enough time to let your shoulders settle and relax a little bit before they have to get into it again. That open water swim, when all of a sudden you've got to go 1.2, 2.4 miles of swimming continuously with no breaks, that stress of looking up, moving around, that really, really puts a lot of stress on the shoulders. And these swim bands are going to help with that. So we're maintaining feel, we're maintaining strength for open water swimming, but we're also really working on that aspect of getting into the open water and having to maintain that stroke and that rhythm that whole time. Well, that was a good one today. It wasn't super long, but it's hard. It's hitting those longer efforts, coming off of short, hard efforts is not easy. So you guys did a great job. So all right, at this point, any questions? I know people are starting to get back in the pool, maybe into open water. So maybe some swimming questions or even swim band questions. Anything you got? Now's a good time to fire away.
Okay, I have a question. Okay, I get it totally why in the pool, when in the water, my my feet like cramp up.
Yep.
Okay, it happens a lot. Happens to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Why does it happen during French cords? My one foot kept doing the same thing it does in the pool.
I wonder if it's, well, I mean, the pool one is an explanation all on its own. This, I'm sure, is separate. It could, I mean, do you cramp other times, you know, running, cycling with other things, or is it mostly a swim and swim band?
Swim and swim band.
That is interesting. I'll give you that. I mean, I wonder if it's the way you're standing. I don't know. That is a really good question. I would say, you know, address it the same way you would address cramping in general. But, you know, maybe you've just got this muscle memory where your body says, I'm swimming.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, this is like swimming. Your foot is going to cramp up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's an interesting one. If anyone else has answered that, I don't know. That's tricky.
Oh, well.
I wish I had a better answer for you. I'm sorry.
Truly, it's in my head, I think, or in my foot and my head. But thank you. That was fun.
Problem.
Hard but fun.
Okay. Anyone else? Actually,
Good night, guys.
Alexi sent a question, which I think is great for everybody. And it's this: the light band is getting too light and the next level up is too stiff, right? So it's how do we move on to the next one? And I think the way to do that is you don't just make the switch from one band right to the other one. You know, what we do is you mix in a little bit of both. So when we're doing the preset, the easier stuff, use the light band. When we're doing harder, higher efforts, go for the harder band because you're not going to have to add as much tension to the harder band. It's going to be hard anyway. So let's say, for instance, we're doing something like we did recently where we're doing endurance type alternating into that high power double arm. Use the lighter band for today, for instance. What I would have done is gone for the heavy band on the 20-second, the 40-second, switch to the lighter band for the longer minute and a half, 2 minutes. So integrate them both as you get used to the harder one. because that is a tricky thing. I mean, that once you go to a harder one, you're going to get it and you're going to get to it and you're going to feel like just having just enough tension to do anything is going to be too much tension. So use that for when you need to have a lot of tension on the band. Use that one up, and over time you'll probably gradually adjust to that. Or you might get to the point where, you know, for the shorter, harder stuff, I'm just going to go with the heavy one, and for the easier, longer stuff, I'm just going to use the lighter one, and just kind of keep that going through both. Good. All right. Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I hope everybody has a great day, and we'll be back on Wednesday if anyone wants to join in. Talk to you later.
Thanks.